What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 build video. Now shout out to the DoD, Disciples of Doom, and today's build video is going to be my Negotiator's Dilemma AR crit build. Yeah, that was a lot to say, but it is worth it. But don't take my word for it. Go ahead, sit back, relax, grab your popcorn, because we're going to go ahead and jump into some PvP gameplay. This build is going to be used for PvP and also the raid. You can use this in different situations, but I personally am only going to use this build for PvP and the raid. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy the PvP gameplay. I will be right back.
Boost online. Agent down.
You can win this.
Rogue Restorer Hive detected. Agent down.
You're the only one left of your team, Agent. Keep fighting.
Agent down.
I'm sending you a specialization supply drop.
An agent needs assistance. Rogue Defender drone detected. Rogue Restorer Hive detected.
If the enemy doesn't turn this around, they'll be pulled out. Supply drop being claimed by friendly. The specialization supply drop has been claimed by an ally.
Agent down.
There's no pulling out. Keep fighting. You're halfway through the fight. There are no more rogue reinforcements. It's a win. Solid work.
Alright, hope you enjoyed the PvP gameplay, and as soon as I just get a raid team together, I will do a raid with this build as well, and then we'll make a whole nother video on it, just showing you what it's like with the Negotiator's Dilemma. But without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about my Negotiator's Dilemma AR crit build. Alright, so starting off with the specialization. I'm using the sharpshooter specialization because it gives me better weapon handling and target acquisition with this weapon. Now if I'm going to use this with the raid, you can see I have two different versions of the exact same build. The only difference is this one I'm going to use for PvE, aka the raid, and this one is the one you just saw gameplay of that I am currently using for PvP. So again, this is what it looks like for the raid, and this is the one I am showcasing to you right now. Now as far as the sharpshooter, I'm using that just for the stability and the target acquisition, all that. It just helps out because with this weapon in PvP you are beaming the enemy. You're not up close in their face. I mean, you can be. I typically am sometimes just because I play pretty aggressive, but you could see that from long distance it's even better, especially once you start to get these Negotiator Dilemma procs. It's insane. One of those clips, did you guys see the 1v4? If not, rewind the video, go back to the gameplay, and watch the 1v4 I did, where two guys ran at me. I got them on the Negotiators, killed them both at the exact same time. Next two guys came at me, exact same thing within seconds. Pretty awesome. That was the entire team. But yeah, so Negotiator's Dilemma in PvP is amazing, especially if you can get the crits and just time your shots. It's really easy to face tank one enemy, but if you have two people shooting at you at the same time, why not pop shot one of them, get the Negotiator's mark, and then start face tanking the next guy? That way they both go down at the exact same time. Negotiator's Dilemma is insane when it comes to that because it really does work at the same time. There were multiple clips there that I showed you where I'd be shooting one guy and you'll just see the kill feed. Kamikazevondoom killed this guy, and I'm just face tanking the same person, but I had two others marked with the Negotiator's Dilemma at the same time, so then it was just dealing damage to all of them at the same time. It's quite amazing. Alright, so for the weapon, I am using the Eagle Bearer. Now, a lot of you still don't have the Eagle Bearer, I get it, but the raid has been out for a very long time. I'm sorry, but this is my favorite go-to AR. It's just really accurate, long range, and it does a lot of damage. If you need help doing Dark Hours raid, let me know in the comments. You can put what platform you are, what your gamer tag is, and whatever. And also, if you go to my channel, you will see a link to Discord. On Discord, I have LFG for all platforms for all raids. So you can get on there, join my Discord, and then, ask about the raid and whatever. I'm sure you'll find a team either that day or the day after. But the Eagle Bearer, I'm choosing it. It's my go-to AR, so there you go. If you were to change it, I would say probably, which are the ones I'm using right now? The FAL, the FAMAS, and the Shield Splinterer. These are my three go-tos if I'm not using the Eagle Bearer. But alright, back to the build breakdown. So my Eagle Bearer for this build, 124.1k total damage with max AR damage, max headshot damage, and 19.5 health damage. Now, the reason why I love this weapon so much is it comes with two talents. You have Eagle's Strike, and then you have Tenacity. So Eagle's Strike, it increases your accuracy the more you fire, and it goes up to 30% more accuracy. Not only that, but headshot kills will proc Tenacity for 15 seconds. And if you read Tenacity there, 40 to 80% of your damage taken is delayed until the buff expires. All of the total delayed damage is reduced for each enemy you kill while that buff is active. up to 100% if you get up to 3 kills. So for all those clips that I'm killing 2-4 people at a time, I'm able to negate all that damage, or at least up to 80% of it, while I'm firing them with tenacity, and then all of that negated can be gone 100% if I kill up to 3 enemies. It's pretty crazy. I love this weapon. I totally 100% think it's worth it. Just grind dark hours for like a day or two, you'll get it, don't worry. Alright. For my secondary, I'm using the Banshee SMG. This one's at 115.7k total damage, and that's with max SMG damage, max damage to targets out of cover, and 18% crit hit chance. It also comes with measured. I love using that just because of the burst damage. Not only that, but if I'm going up against players that have the shield, whenever I hit that second half of my magazine and the RPM slow down, I know I'm doing even more damage. And by that time, their shield is breaking, and then all the damage that I'm doing that's buffed is hitting the player, and they pretty much go down immediately. So one magazine will kill pretty much any build out there with this build combination. And then for the sidearm double barrel sawed off, using this 1.4 million total damage with damage to targets out of cover and damage to armor and in sync. So if you're having a bad day, whip out this bad boy, bang bang, and they're all dead. Now that is my weapon combination. Now looking at the build itself, yes, it is all reds. Yes, I like to play aggressive and I like to shoot people from distance. So this checks off all the boxes for me. You can easily put some blues on here if you need more survivability, but that's up to you and your playstyle. But for me, this build is perfect the way it is. Now, doing a deep dive. Starting off with the mask. Coyote's mask. This one is God rolled. Max weapon damage, crit chance, and crit damage. I put a max crit damage mod on there as well, just to sprinkle it on top. Now for the talents, it comes with pack instincts. So based off of the distance you are from the enemy that you hit, it gives you and all of your allies a buff. And this stacks. So if you get 2 or 3 people to run the Coyote's mask together, you can get all of these to stack at the same time. Now 0 to 15 meters, you get crit damage, 25%. 15 to 25 meters, you get crit chance and crit damage, both at 10%. But for me, I'm using it for the 25 meter plus, and I get the 25% crit chance. So that, fast forward to my stats, that will put me over max crit chance for this build. So at any point that I'm shooting an enemy with that Coyote's mask, my build is just going to hit harder no matter what. Because if it gives me more crit damage, okay, fine, that'll put me over 200%. And if it gives me crit chance, fine, it's going to put me at max crit chance. So this Eagle Bearer is slapping, I'm telling you. It wrecks. It's ridiculous. Now talking about the Negotiator's Dilemma. I'm going to use this backpack for instance because it does come with that extra talent. So Negotiator's Dilemma, I am running the 4-piece, so we need to talk about the bonuses. For wearing 2, I get 15% crit chance. For wearing 3 pieces, I get 20% crit damage. And then for the 4-piece, I get hostile negotiations. So crit hits will mark the enemy for 20 seconds. And this can go up to a max of 3 enemies at a time. Now when you critically hit one of those marked enemies, all of the other marked enemies will take damage. Now that says 60%, but I'm wearing the backpack. And that gives me this talent right here, critical measures. Now this increases that damage from 60% to 100%. So if I mark 3 enemies at once and I face tank one of those enemies, all of my crits are going to bounce off of him and hit all the other enemies at the same time, doing the exact same damage. So when I'm melting one guy, I'm melting all 3 at the same time. It's amazing, truly. It truly is amazing. Now, it says right here, whenever a marked enemy dies, you will gain 2% crit damage. Now this can stack up to 20 times. So you can possibly get up to another, 40% crit damage. Now, back to the attributes. Negotiator's Dilemma backpack, max weapon damage, crit damage, and then a max crit damage mod. Down to the gloves, Negotiator's Dilemma, max weapon damage, and crit damage. Negotiator's Dilemma knee pads, max weapon damage, and 11.9 crit damage. 0.1 away from max. And then the final piece, Negotiator's Dilemma holster, max weapon damage and max crit damage. But all of that is nice and well, but the icing on the cake, or the whole thing that puts it together, is this chest piece. So this is my Fenris chest piece with glass cannon. Now the Fenris group brand set bonus we get from this build, 10% AR damage. Now the talent, glass cannon, all damage you deal is amplified by 25%. However, yes, all damage you take is amplified by 50. Okay, cool, yeah. So you have to be nimble, and you have to know how to use that to your advantage. For me, it's perfect. I play very aggressive, and it's quite amazing. So work on that amplified damage, you're good to go. Now for the attributes, I have max weapon damage, max crit damage, 4.6 crit chance, and then a max crit damage mod. And that is the build. Now for the skills that I was using for PvP, Jammer Pulse, that way I can get rid of all their skills and everything they end up dropping. And then the Explosive Seekers. This does a little bit of damage, but it more importantly marks my enemy. I can see where they're moving and track them through their bleed. Now finishing up with the stats. So for the Eagle Bear, 124.1k weapon damage with 49.6k PvP weapon damage. 45.6 crit chance, 187.9 crit damage. But remember, I am using the Coyote's mask, so that's going to help both of these numbers out. I also have 85% headshot damage. And then go to the offensive tab. 100% all weapon damage bonus with 40% AR weapon damage bonus. So every time I use the Eagle Bearer, I get 140% damage bonus total just starting out. Now for the gear talents, remember, I am running the Negotiator's Dilemma backpack, so I do get critical measures. I have glass cannon on the chest piece, and I get pack instincts from the Coyote's mask. Going down to the defensive tab, 726k armor, 332k health, with 10% explosive resistance and 10% hazard protection. Now this goes to my disclaimer for all my build videos. I am currently watch level 1584. That means that all of these attribute boxes are maxed out 50 of 50. Now, you max these out when you hit shade level 1000. So, for all of you watching this and you are below shade level 1000, you might see lower numbers in certain areas of your build. However, once you reach shade level 1000, all of these boxes should be maxed out, and then all you have to do is copy and paste my build and you can get the exact same numbers. That simple. So just remember that if you're below 1000, you're not going to have as high attributes, and if you're above 1000, you're good to go. Just copy and paste. And there you have it. That is my Negotiator's Dilemma AR crit build. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I am Kamikazevondoom. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments what you think. And while you're at it, hit that notification bell. That way you don't miss a single Division video. Alright, peace you guys. See ya.